thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Tell me a little bit about yourself and the organization.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me onto the show. It's very humbling. My name is Pamela. I'm the founder and executive director of Right to Be Seen, Inc. We founded in 2019 as a way to amplify youth voices through creative writing and performing arts. We teach workshops in creative writing and improv theater-based activities, as well as we provide live performance opportunities for the youth, and they create their own skits. So they're using their own words, their own thoughts on what they want the themes to be. And it's a process called devising. Devised theater means it is a specific form of improvisation where during the workshop process, we create the story together as a collective. And then whatever we improvise during those workshops ends up becoming the show you see on the stage.
Oh, nice. And how was it formed? How did you create this organization?
Right to Be Seen was founded on the premise that I believe teenagers have a right to have their own authentic self seen and their own unique voices to be heard. And I felt that we don't get, when I was that age at least, we don't get enough opportunity to be heard in those ways with all these other external pressures of feeling like we need to be something else. And so it's really just about having a space to feel accepted, seen, and heard. And when I started the company, I was inspired by my theater major at the University of Central Florida. In my junior and senior year, I learned a lot about this concept called theater for social change. Basically, we're just using the stage as a platform to mobilize our voices and share with the wider public about what issues we're going through, what we see going on in our own lives or in the community around us. Really just use it as a way to create positive change in our worlds, in our lives. And when I learned that's a lot, I feel like it's a lot of lofty goals when basically the very basics of it is we're teaching writing and improv. But what I learned a lot from my experience with Theater for Social Change is that in this kind of improvisation, it's not really improv comedy. It's more of a improv for mindfulness. Really, it's what is the topic you're choosing to focus on? What are you thinking and feeling about that? And what actions are you creating in this moment to move forward? And what might that look like? And we can create that story together, and we can learn new options based on the perspectives of the group. So what I learned the most from that kind of improvisation is that there's never just any one right way to choose, and you always have a new option. And so that was very empowering for me as someone who grown up through adverse experiences, as someone who, felt like they have lacked resources, and being able to sort of give that back to yourself. So I want to be able to give that back to the community as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe in those situations they feel like they're not being seen, not being heard, and this is a way for them to get that. Yeah. What services does your organization provide?
So right now we're offering arts mentoring as enrichment for other youth-serving organizations. And so it's sort of about a 5 to 6 week accelerated program, and these are the kinds of things you would be learning in devising your own fuller length production. And so we have a basic format of we're team building. So the first few weeks they're coming in learning just different improvisational sort of icebreaker activities that will help with group focus, communication, working in a team, feeling that it's okay to sort of like feel comfortable, feeling uncomfortable, and exploring, getting out of our comfort zones. So that's the week one is team building. Then we're going into the theme building, which is we sort of just group brainstorm on topics. And then we have the writing prompts as well to help with that. And then we get into scene building, which is sort of seeing what that beginning, middle, end looks like. And then, of course, in a fuller length program, you would have more of an opportunity to more fully rehearse and produce those skits back to a wider audience. And we did have 2 full productions through our organization so far. And so that's a second sort of bucket, if you will, is that I want to build out the program to have a once annual teen theater production and hopefully get our own core troupe of youth who want to be in the shows, create something new each year, and invite new kids to be in that process year over year as well.
What can someone expect when they're attending one of your workshops?
So the workshops can be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or two, depending on the needs of the other group we're working with. And we're coming in the format is the same throughout whatever group we're working with. It's that teen generation, theme generation, scene generation. And then week by week, they're going to be learning on different themes, different writing prompts, different activities. We're going to be having different guest teachers in like script writing or dance, choreography, or whatever it is that better aids in the youth's interests and the specific skits that they're creating. We're going to also expect to, again, work outside of their typical comfort zones and be working with kids who think a lot like them, but also with kids who have a lot of thoughts that are different from theirs. And I believe that we are able to grow through that process.
We talked a little bit about why you started the organization, and a little bit about being seen and heard. Why do you feel it's important that they really have this space?
For me, when I started with the company, I thought I wanted to combine like these loves I have for theater for social change and spoken word poetry, which I just stumbled across after I got out of college. But really, the thing about it was that this was a space where it was one of the first times in my life that I felt like the people here are like my cheerleaders, and they're here to really just listen to your words and like believe your story. And so I didn't really have that in other areas of my life. And I also live in recovery with PTSD. It's a resource, it's not therapy, but it's therapeutic. But also, along with being able to have that outlet, it's also important to be able to use the stage platform in order to encourage other people to listen to our authentic selves, because the music and arts and entertainment, that's a way that people are willing to listen. And so what we're doing is we're putting our stories in front of an audience that we know is like receptive to learning from a diversity of perspectives. And I believe that can help to breed cross-cultural acceptance as well, because the arts, it bridges barriers from race and language barriers and age gaps. None of that really matters when you're seeing a show. You can sort of just like see somebody and understand. I just want to be able to use the stage platform to help impact positive social change.
How can a community get involved and support some of your efforts?
We do host community outreach events. So we just had we do one every summer. It's just a one-off, but it's called Break the Sweat, De-Stress Through the Arts. And so I invite different guest speakers in holistic art forms, whether that's yoga or writing or dance, and we combine it with the improv activities, and just as a way to explore ways that we can help ourselves naturally to decompress. And this is a way for the community to just come out. If you are a youth advocate, if you are a teacher, if you are a parent, just get a better idea of what it is that the program looks like and what our goals are. So if you're able to come out to an outreach event, we've also just started a once monthly poetry slam that I want to be able to engage more youth in being the performers for that. And they're going to get a $50 cash prize for the first place performer. And that's being sponsored by Right to Be Seen.
Where can our viewers learn more?
We do have a interest form on our website at righttobeseen.org/register. You can also find more information about us by following us on our Instagram. It's the same handle, Right to Be Seen. And on Facebook, you can add us as a friend.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
Absolutely, there is. So this year's goal for my one annual teen theater production, I want to create a show called Lifelines, stories of how the arts keep our hearts pumping. So what I'm seeking is teenagers who already have a background in the performing arts, who are the singers, who are the dancers. Maybe they grew up in their church choir, they rap, they beatbox, whatever it is that their talent is, to be able to have them showcase that sort of cabaret style. And then we're going to use the improvisations to work out skits that tell the stories of how that art form has made a positive impact in their lives. People can, find more information about that through our registration link on our website. They can use the Contact Us form, and really just trying to get the word out to scout for youth who want to be involved with that.
Well, thank you so much for coming here and sharing some of this information. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much as well. It was great.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.